where we had left off was that Bright went up to the skeleton working in the galley aboard Lellywellen's Gamble, an ancient ship that has been sailing this inner sea of Mesotopia for quite some time, and wanted to tell one of her jokes. And believe me, she has some really good jokes. She made an entire circus tent laugh itself silly. And I'm not talking about the occupants. I mean, like, the circus tent itself. Just paralyzed it with laughter. And so what will happen is I will roll, as there is a, let's see, it is a, it does, well, you can learn a couple things regardless of the roll, because this does have a writer of a creature with an intelligence of 4 or less and isn't affected. You get this, your spell does actually resonate with this creature, so at least has an intelligence more than 4. And it is going to make a wisdom saving throw. And the spell, so this is, what's your DC? 16?
16.
Okay. Your spell goes off, and there's a moment where there's no reaction, and then your spell just stops. The save is made mechanically.
16. Huh. He has +6 or better? Wow, okay. It's alright, Mr. Skeleton. I'll keep telling you more jokes later.
Make an Arcana as a part of this as well.
Oh no, 12.
Okay. Yeah, it's must be a tough audience. It's just, a bunch of old grizzled bones. Maybe it's heard that one before.
Fine, Ronnie doesn't know. It's just a matter of time. I'm not giving up on you, Mr. Skeleton. You're important.
All right, and then you all are going to arrive in Uct, and this is going to begin when we get back to you all eventually. If you want to do something, there's I think like a 2-day turnaround in Uct, and then there's going to be a cruise up north, and I'll let you all think about what you want to do. We go back to Mask of Horns in Mesomasca itself, the kind of plague doctor shaped island that exists as like the kind of a big center for Mesotopia itself, despite being really like the smallest of the countries that make up that region. And we have investigator Jaiden Stillwaters, and of course at the Wild Cherry. And you know what? I should. I'll have it for next time. But I have. I have like an interior shot of the in room. But Coffee Cat made a Wild Cherry sign as part of your subscription drive, and so maybe I can.
Way underdone.
Well, maybe I can have it touched up a little bit and then put it out as a plank on something, kind of like how I have this completely random, apparently a florist shop over here that's selling these interesting yellow flowers. So we're back in the big city, and so Jaiden, you had done some investigation. You'd worked with Miss Crumb, who of course has set up a network herself. She's found a new life through Unlife, and has created this kind of, haven for others of her kind. And she was able to get you some information, and you can resolve that. I mean, it's floating. You're still in the same location. You can redeem that as you'd like. If you have something in mind, and remember that if you wanted to get information regarding that item that was missing from your dad's friend's collection, that could be one piece of lore, or you can pursue it in, you can have an ongoing you could have an ongoing investigation, but the immediate investigation did not yield what you had wanted it to. So that'll be up to you. But we had concluded that segment of downtime. You were coming into another segment. So I don't know if there's anything that really got expended, but it's refreshed. And what would you like to do? Do you want to carouse? Do you want to craft? Do you want to try and make money or get leads on things? You could fight a dude.
I find myself often lost at this current point. Though I'm expecting my companions back, which should take them a while. I ended up going, well, immediately by carriage, by wagon, and whatever travelers were heading this way, so I'm well ahead of the curve in that regard. Gives me some time. At this point, I suppose I'll just continue the investigation of the missing here pieces from the armory. The truth of the matter is that it's a job that's left half finished. I'd rather not leave it to the wind, but problem with dealing with professional thieves is they don't make sloppy mistakes, which makes my job a significant undertaking.
All
it's
right.
becoming a little bit frustrating, but we will muddle on through it. Perseverance, after all. And if the piece really is worth what I believe it is, then, well, it's not exactly something you can fence easily, and there's a very short list of individuals who would be able to have the purchasing power to acquire it.
That is correct. This is, then you can take this into, reasoning into your next line of investigation, and if Pardon. Let's approach this from a couple different perspectives, and I'll let you choose what you think would be most appropriate, or just it sounds cool to Jaiden here. You are investigating broadly, and this can be done through straight up research. You could just take the time, like you're not really hitting the streets per se, but maybe you're talking to other police officers. Maybe you're looking through, files that your dad's friend can provide for you. Because I mean, you're not a beat cop that can just like walk into the station and be like, "Oh, I'm going to see your files," but you have someone who can get that info for you. And who also like might know people, but you'd have to tell him, hey, is there someone who can do this? You've lived in town your life. So we could handle this as a more of an academic approach, not necessarily like it's going to take every brain cell of nature or of arcana or something, but we would take an academic approach to it through research. We can, if you want to have an interesting, almost like a spy thriller, like a James Bond-esque investigation, we could even handle this through gambling, as there are different places, casinos and other areas where those who fence valuable objects gather, where large sums of money are won and lost on a nightly basis, and where people put up as collateral some ridiculous things, and everyone's like, well, it's just it's a game of poker, so whatever, let rich people buy bananas taped to walls. It's So we can handle it through a gambling style interaction, because you might be able to go to a particularly known fence, as there's very limited places, as you said, where that could occur.
Yeah,
Or
unfortunately, I know my luck, and I also know that I gotta find a way to do this, assuming that I'm only going to roll a 2 through the whole thing.
um, well, eh,
I, skill checks are useless in an auto fail right now, so it's no point in engaging them.
for any of you in the
So,
audience that's ever played Warhammer 40,000, this is like when you're making an army and you're planning to go against mechs or marine equivalents. You have to do a certain baseline statistical testing. In case my Tyranids go against bread and butter space marines, what are my odds?
It's like throwing 30 attacks and only landing 2.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like my Tyranids going against space marines. Exactly. I know how that feels.
please, I got you beat. 32 Hormagaunts on charge, so you end up literally having 96 attacks on Terminators. So out of all that damage, you end up having 42 wounds, not one death. All of them saved.
Oh.
That's my dice luck. So I detest boiling things down to dice, but that's how we're gonna do it. Then I guess that's how we're gonna do it.
Well, there are beyond the fickle god.
No, there isn't. We know this is gonna go.
Well,
Matty,
well,
so let's do it.
Through fickle gods, or you have certain beyond just a skill roll. I mean, if you have particular spells that maybe you could invoke, or you can take an approach that, I mean, I am happy to consider circumstantial advantages. Now, I know a dice roll is still a dice roll, whether it's at advantage or not. I'm sorry. The other option that was coming to my mind, and if you have a fourth one, please let me know. We could do some carousing, and this would be more upper class carousing. So
It seemed
like the Bruce
seemed
Wayne
like
of the
you
party.
had your particular idea was this whole Casino Royale thing. So I'll give that a shot just to see what happens.
Sure. We can have you case a known front. The old detective there will tell you, oh yeah, all sorts of stuff passes through there, but no one can touch it because it's all done through legal gambling means. But everyone knows that it's I guess the modern equivalent would be if you're a jeweler in today's world and you're trying to move like, I don't know, like a diamond encrusted a diamond encrusted watch or something to get through customs, because they're going to tag you if your watch is worth like $15,000. All you simply do is you buy a plane ticket for yourself and you wear the watch on your wrist because it's your personal property, and then you sell it in the country that you end up in, because who cares if you have a watch on the way back out? It's not going to be the same person. And so there's a lot of this kind of transaction going on where people bring stuff in, it's a port city, and, things come and go.
Well, if that's the case, I currently am wearing some specialty gear. The kind of stuff that I'd rather not be seen with, but it's the sort of thing that attracts particular attention. And the particular attention has to do with the fact that I am wearing gloves of thievery.
Ah. Now, would you... we have the gloves. When the outfit you're wearing, is this something... actually, I'm sorry, this has two questions. One, do you want Miss Crumb with you? Or two, do you want her to gussy you up for the casino in a particular style?
I'm gonna have to say no and yes. No, because I've made it very clear that I do not wish for Miss Quum to be involved in any form of illicit activities that she can avoid.
Okay.
Our agreement is on the basis of she tries to end up being a law-abiding citizen, and I have no reason to come after her. She understands this ruling, she's abided by it, I'm not going to ask her to risk it. I've given everybody the benefit of the doubt in that regard, and I'm not willing to end up asking somebody to circumvent that particular moral code that I have already instilled.
When
Go ahead.
When it comes to that, because you have had a conversation with her, she has, I mean, there's been some bumps along the way as she's learned who and what she is now. Though a lot of what she's done is following what we may call the Munchkin fallacy, which goes, I can because the rules don't say I can't, simply because there's unique circumstances going on regarding, I don't know, the undead walking among us, invading external empires, and whatnot. So she hasn't done anything that is illegal by the books, but they might be things that, I mean, maybe it's culturally normal to the Northeast where she's from. But there's no rules on the books saying that the things that she's done she can't do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is that so? How does that sit with you, Jaiden?
Letter of the law.
Okay.
I may not like it, but if I start to end up going about on what I like as opposed to what the law says, well, that's how we get vigilantism. That's how we end up getting adventurers who think they're above the law and maybe immolating guards. So, we're going to be avoiding that at all cost at this point.
Bright, somewhere you just sneeze randomly. Or I'm sorry, you persneep. and your ear burns a little bit too.
You might want to take nap, little one. You don't look well.
I have no coronavirus.
Oh no! That's what's been happening to him.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. So Jaiden, then, as where you're going is it's a very fancy casino. How would you, I mean, given Miss Crumb, her taste and her disposable income to put towards this, and the simple fact that she would love, like, you gave her a chance, like, you pulled her out of the drink, you gave her a chance, and that sticks with her. And especially because, like, you on your own dime went out and you bought her normal clothes so she didn't look like a half-drowned, jellyfish covered carcass. She will take you out and you are gonna have what do you want to look like? You can look like a server in the casino. You could look like a highfalutin, like muckety muck someone. You could look like a governess. You could look like a trophy wife. You could look like whatever, a professional business. You could look like a master of letters, or of the word of one of the fates.
At this point, I believe someone of material influence would be most appropriate, though she would probably know better as to what would be appropriate in that setting, or what would garner the right sort of attention. There's getting attention, and then there's getting the right people's eye. And right now, what I need is a bunch of individuals who are high rollers and who are capable of, or may interact with, particular thieves. Hopefully ones that are more than capable and magic imbued, because that seems to be what I'm dealing with.
Okay. So she thinks that where you're going, it has been a popular spot also for not just like your average Shadowheart sailor or even the merchants that have started to come behind this security force that is established, I mean, for lack of a better term, a beachhead here in Mesotopia. But there's also been, because there's this new wealth and new influence, there is the dalliance with the exotic and the dangerous, that there have been locals who have tried to dress in a way that would capture Shadowheart attention. And so you would have these, you know, these naval officers or these rich merchants who've come in to set down, you know, monetary routes, would notice, oh, here's a Mesomascan native, you know, boy or girl, and they're wearing black and red. You know, it's not the normal colors per se, or the pattern would be different, but you're trying to appeal. And so in turn, they see that as, oh, well, you know, here's an opportunity because they're trying to appeal to me and my influence. So you're kind of like stoking their ego. You're trying to, you know, now you know what you're, well, arguably they know what they're doing too, but you know that you're employing it in a particular fashion, and that there's an expectation like, oh, well, you're going to be someone who's here just you know, she wants to get a couple gold pieces to rub together, and in the meantime, I'll have a night of entertainment, or even try and make some sort of establishment as something. So in this case, she would recommend to you, we'll dress you up in Shadowheart style, as much as can be provided with the appropriate materials here. And you know, she doesn't exactly have a dress ready to go, but she has a sense for the fashion. She has the coinage, and so you can she can commission a dress to be made, and cue a scene where you have a custom tailor brought in, and we're learning Jaiden's measurements. You know, and you're getting the head to toe treatment as you're going to be having a custom, not a ballroom gown, but it's also like not a cocktail dress because it's not supposed to be like super revealing. Like you just have a very, I don't know what the word would be, but you have a nice dress. How about that? Oh, hey, ReadyNet. Yeah, this city is primarily tiefling. So there's a lot of tails and a lot of horns going around. And a lot of fantastic clothing and jewelry to go along with it. Because if you got it, flaunt it. And by the way, this is also going to include, because you must wear masks while out. This is going to include a beautiful mask of some kind. So if you have an idea for what you'd want it to look like, Jaiden, you're welcome to describe your custom mask, and it will be made for you. But if you just want to say, I have a mask that matches, that's fine. It's up to you and your creative mind how you want to paint the picture.
Fair enough. At this point, Jaiden's not so concerned about what they're wearing, more so the mannerisms expected and trying to abide by them, though the walk is difficult.
Oh, yeah, we can take you through, Miss Crumb is going to make you into, we're going to have a My Fair Lady or a Pygmalion style moment here, where Jaiden is going to be taught, is going to be taught. In fact, you could even, she'll help you try and work on your accent also, on your proper northern accent.
Well, that would be, that would be wonderful.
Well, that would be wonderful.
Well, that would be wonderful.
And cue the montage of Jaiden going through and getting Shadowheart lessons here, and also looking fantastic in the process. Learning to walk and strut, and I mean you're walking differently. And oh, by the way, this is probably something your mom didn't teach you about. Welcome to heels.
Double checking if I'm carrying a bag of holding, keeping regular boots.
Now, to get your bag of holding to match your heels, though, that's going to cost extra. Because your bag has to match your shoes. Now, because you are getting sort of a custom garb, and you are going to be wearing heels. If there are practical modifications that you would like Miss Crumb to ask, so for example, your heel might be able to detach and be turned into like a dart or like a little shanker, or if you would like some kind of you're a police officer. You've carried items or weapons or defensive measures on yourself if needed. If you would like to have any little, little fun things like that, she might even be able to provide in like a ring. Maybe you like slide it off to the side and there's like a little like a sleeping agent or something, a little powder if you want.
Oh, please. I have something that's already compact and easy to hide, and bursts people into flames when I need it.
She looks at you very curiously.
Sunblade, which takes up about that much space.
Okay. Do you want that incorporated into any kind of jewelry, or is that just are you carrying that in your purse?
That's probably a purse situation.
Okay.
Which is gonna get stolen from me in a second.
Well, no, she will make sure that you arrive with an entourage, because your appearance on the scene is very important.
I thought Jaiden meant me. I'm deeply hurt.
Oh. All right. So we have over this course of time, things are planned and things are made. You are given I mean, it's not just a crash course like the night before, but you are given. It's proper that you are improper still. That you don't have. You don't speak the language, but you're trying to sound appealing to those that do. And so we are now going to take you. You are brought in a nice carriage, and it would seem that she's been able to curry some influence to set up some kind of a. Well, let's see. You want to be. Was it a business magnate again? Like, do you want to come in as like apparently like the president of a trading company, or what was your angle or approach?
I believe, given the current situation, I am coming in as a person who has influence in the trade routes further inland, and in doing so ends up becoming somewhat alluring to any Shadowhar who are looking to end up trading further inland and end up presuming more of a presence there. It becomes a little bit more appealing, and this way I am not the chaser, I am the chasee.
Okay. And this is, I mean, even creating something that is, for what you're doing and the current circumstances, the Shadowhar merchants and other higher ups that might be interested here, they're not going to have an intense knowledge of every trading company or the routes. So you are going to be given enough of like credit or affront that you like this isn't a month's plural long con where you're creating all of the business work and all this, because you're there to appeal, get information, and act if you need to. Does that make sense? So your story is crafted.
Kind of, I'll work with it.
They put the label on the carriage so that you have your company and that you have your hired guards or drivers that are accompanying you. I don't have a. I guess we'll use the. Oh, boo. Now, when Roll20 had that incident, the interior of the Flowerfield Mansion got nuked, which was that nice, very elegant-looking. It was. My goodness, cat, stop, please. I love you, but you can't do that. So let's use cat. I will lock you out. She's scratching and she's tearing at the furniture. I know, really weird for cats. Oh, that was just a... Well, poo. Alright, we'll just use, yeah. I guess we'll use the tumbled wench. You're not at the tumbled wench, but we'll have to imagine there's a little higher class. Shame on me. I should have had something like this prepared. But still... so it is a beautifully decorated place for the players. If you remember the photo we used for the interior of the Flowerfield Mansion, had the gilded ceilings and, you know, big open rooms and whatnot. You know, a fireplace that, even though it's a summer's night, you know, blazes and creates all sorts of, you know, light and shadows that even play with, because everything's been determined. Beautiful wallpaper. I feel like I'm doing you a disservice by having just this open. Anyway.
Don't worry about it.
You arrive. Your vampiric entourage plays its part very well, and Miss Crumb stays in the carriage, and you have a place where you know that the carriage will be kept. So if you do need to either call in or run to, you have the meeting spot.
I give my thanks in the pleasantries, keeping up appearances, and am very much grateful to the service that she has rendered upon me. The hardest part is walking in. Trying to look the part, play the part, and well, I can only be thankful that family has ended up teaching me on how to end up acting appropriately. Though it's a little bit odd to end up being on this particular side of things. At least I'm coming in with some preparation.
With that preparation, and as you're coming in and you're walking the walk, in order to make this entrance, not that there's someone at the door that's like, boo boo, now announcing, and, you know, reads off a giant scroll and, you know, a bunch of, you know, flippantry like that.
I imagine that's more further in where it doesn't echo out.
Well.
It's this way they're not announcing that such and such has arrived to an illegal gambling ring.
Yeah, you might need to, you know, there's the public face, and then maybe you get invited to, you know, the room in the back where the, you know, where then it, a little bit more announcement, like, why are you here? Who are you? Oh, you're this person. All right, well, here's the others. So you're walking in, and how we can handle this, especially because you've gone through, and this can be reflected in your training, but also the fact that as a lot of this is the projection of yourself through your posture, through the way that you're walking, that you trained yourself in these heels. If you would like to make a performance, you can choose to make it, well, we could obviously go charisma if you want. However, because you were drilled in this sort of like crash course finishing school, you can choose to make it intelligence based, or if you're more the strong and silent type and you want to rely on your body to balance in the heels, remember to carry your shoulders in a particular fashion, I think we could get away with calling this a strength based performance. And in any of these cases, you are going to have advantage because it's all fresh, it's drilled into you, and you're used to putting on you know, similar presentations here. Okay.
I warned you.
So you you walk in, and I mean, you're not you didn't like flip your hair, or you didn't you know, kind of, you know, like lift and squeeze or anything along those lines. You come in, you haven't offended anyone, and people aren't like, you know, get out of here. Though this isn't, I mean, looking around, this is the casino. This is like the actual casino, probably the legal part of the casino. But there's no heads turned, or people aren't kind of like, oh, well, hello, lady. Or even like, oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am, in either a desirous or I guess almost like a predatory style. You arrive on scene, you're there, and you can make a splash from here as you wish. So there's nothing bad happens. There's just not like a springboard into like a wombo combo of something from this instance. Maybe you just got to warm up, and you're in the practical application.
One can hope. At this point, I am trying to look for ways to end up getting involved in the game to be able to end up seeing who might be willing to end up putting down such a large bet. Helps me narrow down the list of suspects. I would imagine almost everybody at the card table would be, but hopefully some idle brat will end up helping.
Okay. What do you want to... You're going to do this because people are always playing games. This is a place where people are talking. Would you like to do this by engaging in the games, or are you just not a wallflower, but you're more the type that's just observing and keeping your eyes and ears open?
I am checking. I'm looking over the individuals. I'm specifically trying to end up seeing what they're wearing, what they have, and what they're applied. Anything that would indicate this individual. The usual signs of a suspect, or at least profiling. So I believe that would probably be an insight at that point.
Sure, yeah. You can totally get the feeling or the vibe from people. Go ahead and... okay.
12.
So looking around, it's the immediate chaff from the wheat is... most people here are no more nefarious than, I don't know, anyone like kind of grandpa going to the in-town casino or at the nearby casino on a reservation and, going for a weekend and, there to have fun. Probably spend some money that was already set aside, doesn't expect to get it back, but just wants to have a little fun. You are drawn, however, to an area that has that it hasn't been built newly onto the casino, but there is a particular crowd that's over there as they are playing a particular how could I describe this? A particular Shadowhar style of gambling. And it's not that there's not Shadowhar that are playing the more Mesotopian styles, because to them it's, this is a card game we don't play, and it's a chance for them.
This is a bit of exotic at this point, what we find mundane.
And so what we'll say is that you go over to a table that has an interesting device, and it looks like, to us, it would look like a metal donut. And in the center, there is a spoke that goes up through, and it has a little decorative element. And what you see happening with these, and this is very popular with what you see is in between the gambling rounds, there is a black and red pattern that is underneath this metal cap, and it is and there's a sound of a ball rolling inside this metal tube, and put together, it in out of game terms here, we have effectively the Shadowheart call it a woo wet wheel.
A wet wheel.
A woo wet wheel. And what happens is people place their bets on where they feel the ball is going to end up, and then it is spun, and you can kind of hear the ball bouncing around inside the metal tube. And this is apparently a very popular thing that happens in this Northern Empire. What they do is they peel the lid up to see if they've won, and just that metal rim. You got to lift the rim up, and it'll show if you've won or not, because it'll show where the ball is as it bounces around inside.
So roulette, except the ball lands, but in secret, place bets, then reveal the ball. Okay.
Yeah, it creates some fun little ASMR, and it's just a reference to the Tim Horton lift the lid thing. So, because apparently Canada is the evil empire of Shadowheart.
Moving on.
So yeah, there's some people, and as you're approaching, there's a gentleman who places 50 of these like fresh, shiny, newly minted gold Shadowheart coins onto apparently what his lucky number is. And what it whoa!
I'm observing long enough to just get the understanding of the game. Trying to at least calculate where the good odds are, what the general odds are per number, by color, etc., etc. And it's at this point, grab the individual's attention. How many coins did you say they placed down?
50.
I will place 50 gold coins as the ball is still in rotation on the exact same location.
Oh, on his lucky number? Okay.
On his number.
Well, well. What a pretty lady. And wearing pretty colors, too.
Well, I've always ended up looking forward to experiencing different sets of excitement, especially when it comes down to the art of the gamble, as it were.
Oh. A woman of worldly words. Very interesting.
Some would say. And might I ask, who would I be here speaking to?
Well. That's a good question.
Use a random name generator.
Yeah. You can call me Dawes.
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 Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Dawes.
Now, my good man, wet the wet wheel wool.
What it whoa.
And others had placed their bets here and there. The lid comes down, and the person turns the handle, and you hear the ball like flicking around and pinging around inside this metal donut. It almost makes kind of an interesting whirring sound on the inside. That's the spirit. The spirit is what we call the ball inside the wheel.
The spirit is what you call the ball inside the wheel.
And as the ball is dinging around, oh, you hear that? It's past the bad section, because you can because of the way that the audio, like you can get a feel for where it is coming to a close without seeing the exact.
Oh,
number.
we're just battering the souls of the damned, nothing to be afraid of.
What? That's dumb. With the wid, good wad. Let's see where the ball has landed on the woo-wet wheel. I'm having too much fun with this. So, the metal lid is lifted, and let's see. A roulette wheel has 36 spots. But you know what? I don't know. Let's make this one 50. We got 25. Now, I ask, as this is happening, you can imagine that a casino with high stakes is going to have certain observations or countermeasures against those who would want to manipulate fate. You know, we live in a magical world. If gambling exists, people are going to try and also be countered by. Though, is there anything, even magical, I won't stop you from doing it, but is there anything that you would like to do to nudge things before the lid is lifted and that you can see if you're a winner?
No, right now I think I'll wet it wide.
Wet it wide. I like that.
37 or 38.
I think it'd have to be even then, because I think you can just bet black or red, like a halvesies.
Yes, you can.
So
It is even.
Yeah, well,
That-
no,
I mean,
have to be, the zeros are green numbers, they don't count.
It is
They're not.
37 in most parts of the world, but the US being crazy put a double zero on their wheel to weigh it even more in favor of the house, because that's something that they like to do.
Oh, so it's a 0 or a double 0.
Yeah, believe me, I'm a statistician.
Okay. Well, see, we play D&D and we learn things. So this is educational, right? I mean,
Hey, you're learning how to gamble.
all right. So let's have.
Oh, where goes my luck?
Let's have a. You let it ride. He let it ride. Then go ahead and I will roll. I guess I'll make an executive decision here, and I will let this be a. What would the Shadowheart find to be sort of a, if it's normally an odd number and the exception is the even numbers, then if we have, sure, we'll go for an odd number that is somehow symmetrical and finds a particular grace with the Shadowheart who like black and red and all this other stuff. And so I'm gonna roll a 69-sided die. All right. Now, what I would like you to do, Jaiden, is I know the odds are not in your favor in this case, but it's a 1 in 69
They
chance.
never are.
Well, I mean, go ahead and roll a 69-sided die, and I guess we'll see if we'll make up some custom Wools of Wooette of the Shadowheart version as we go here. All right, so you share one of the numbers. Because I guess on a 69-sided wheel, zeros would just be straight out because there's I guess there'd be a little less of them. However, we'll say that you did match at least one of the numbers, and so that's at least a partial payout in some variety. We can have a little bit of fun with our version, though maybe it'd be good to sit down and come up with something like that later. Anyway, so yeah, he looks and says, "Well, we lost. It looks like we both lost out some, but we can bet again." And the Diwa will take and redistribute the funds here as is appropriate across the table.
It's a half pay. It's a half pay. You get half of what you put in back.
So that would be 25. Well. Nevertheless, it's not the worst thing I've ever lost.
The gambling can continue, especially as you're learning the rules here, and as we're kind of making up as I go along. I imagine people would be less likely to, there'd have to be other payout methods than just matching a 1 in 69 chance. Though of course that'd be like that's the ultimate payoff, right? If you can pull off a 69, then everyone wins. So it's we could have some off and on gambling. as this is happening, though, as this is a medium for what you're trying to learn or do, with that happening in the background, what would you like to do with Dawes?
With Dawes, I am trying to end up ascertaining if Dawes would be the one that end up knowing anything about the item in question.
Okay.
I'm more specifically here looking for any forms of shipping information or a particular name of maybe a whimsical thief here that they would maybe happen to know about. Maybe, just maybe.
Okay.
I can't do that accent for long. I can't.
Then you can impress Dawes here by... We can handle this with an investigation, or if you'd like, you can effectively gamble over time and say that you spend 100 gold over the course of time talking, that, you know, he opens up with you, he sees that you're not a low roller, that you're not just gonna lose one roll and pout and go away, and that you want to have a conversation while still, like, casually putting in bets.
I'm taking the 100 gold. I know better than to roll.
Sure.
So, does that include what I've already lost? Or is it in addition to what I've already lost?
This would be in addition, although because you were being... let's do this. Because Miss Crumb was helping to groom you to be a gambler and to work with the Shadowhar, she would have access to some amount of coinage, and she would want them to be freshly minted coins for you, because that is more impressive both to the locals and to the visitors, because this is the new money that's happening. And so let's have her... we can say that she has furnished you with... we'll say 1d6 plus 2, and that is 100 perfect gold coins of the new mint of Shadowhar. So go ahead and roll 1d6 plus 2, and that's what she was able to come up with to send you along. And then your wins and losses can come out of that. Phew. Well, apparently Miss Crumb was able to, through means that hopefully didn't go too questioned, provide you 800 like shiny new Shadowhar gold coins.
Well, I will end up spending 100 and hopefully get into this individual's good graces.
You do, and you receive some information. Now, I don't have a list of names and a big old, kind of a chain of whatnot. I'm reflecting this in terms of what's going to accumulate from here. But you have earned an advantage on something that might happen later, because you have a particular amount of information from this character. Though you learn that Mr. Dallas, or Mr. Dawes here, is not the person you're seeking. But Dawes can have you talk to others who also do some wheeling and dealing, and then you can go and investigate with them as well.
That would probably be the most prudent course of action, trying to end up, as much as Mr. Dawes may be pleasant company, I am focused on the task at hand, so I wish Dawes a good evening, and trying to pursue the thief that is responsible for my lost property.
All right. So from the lone Wu-Wet Woa, the high Woa Dawes, you then move over to a table that has several Shadowhari that are sitting at it, and they are playing. I see there's some talk of different games here. So they'll be playing. I guess we'll call it. You're talking about blackjack, so I guess we'll call this Wed Dwagon instead of blackjack. Wed Dwagon.
It's quite a white.
And so the group is there. It's not just the one. It's not just the one roller. You can see that there are several influential people. Though there is one who's sort of the head of this little. I don't want to say a gang, like it's a gang, but it's a group of people with similar interests who are here gambling, and they mostly seem to defer to one, although they all have this unique exuberance to them. And so they will sit down and I actually wonder. You know, I've not used this before. Can you all see this that I have open?
Yep.
All right, so you're gonna sit down, Jaiden, and you would like to, you actually maybe the Shadowheart call this Wed Dwagon, but in local parlance it's blackjack, or you know we can have something called
Wed Dwagon. Okay.
But yeah, you'll call it Wed Dwagon. Playing a game of Wed Dwagon, gentlemen. Very nice. And so they can clue you in on this, please play Wed Dwagon with us. And it looks like they've been on a bit of a winning streak. They seem rather confident, either that or they just honestly have money to blow and they're enjoying themselves. They do have some serving staff, men and women, both who are bringing them drinks and not like meals, but like snacks and whatnot you have along the way. But we're talking like fresh peeled shrimp and some higher flute and stuff. So the game, we get into the game, you're wanting to investigate them as well. And I will offer you another buyout option, though, because we're having a second clue. The second clue can be 200 gold, and you can part with that and move on. Or if you'd like, we can deal cards. They're not dice.
You're tempting me, but I know my luck. But on the other hand, it's been a long time since I played some blackjack or some Wed Dwagon. So, what's the max bet at this table?
We'll say that this is for the normal gambling area. It's not a high roller area. This is like max normal for whatever the common casino area would be. I don't have a scale, because tables and casinos are like, here's the $1,000 max, or here's the minimum of whatever.
Well, a traditional Wed Dwagon, a $5 table would have a maximum bet of 50, or pardon, 100.
Okay, then
So.
we'll say this could be higher. We'll call this.
It would probably be 500 then.
Yeah, we'll say 500 then. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will do a max bet of 500
Ooh.
on my opening hand.
Ooh, all right. So, this is you have everyone's attention. Like the dealer. I mean, not that this group hasn't put in big bets, but they've just been kind of like going at it. And then you put down this stack, and you catch these Shadowheart, like their merchant, their gazes. Although from what Dallas tells you, like they're not necessarily, they themselves are not the owners of the companies. They're like the sons and whatnot that came along with them. So they're out having the good time, spending their father and mother's money.
It's
they're
more
younger.
to end up getting the white type of intention.
And so I guess what we'll do here, I have 4 others at the table, and I have Jaiden, and then so I guess what we can do is deal 2 cards to each of you, unless I'm remembering blackjack incorrectly. It's been a while since I've played.
Blackjack. Deal 1 card to each player.
All
including
the way.
yourself. All right. Assuming you're playing the house.
Yes.
Okay. Those cards are flipped over and revealed.
Okay.
And at that point, it goes around the table to end up going hit or stand. I'm gonna play the very simple rules. You can get pretty advanced on
Yeah,
this.
I
Right now we will.
please, I
Double
want to
down,
keep this
split,
simple. So,
etc.
okay, so we all revealed. Can you click on them, or do I have to click on your cards? Maybe I have to. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Can you see that came up, or is that just for me?
It's just for you.
Okay. Although I guess if
You would click on it, drag it, and flip it over. So if you click on it, you can actually drag. There you go.
okay, so there we go.
So 10 and 10.
And then for the others, have you revealed your cards as well at the table?
Nope. But I can do this. So I'm stealing a Woo's card.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
There you go. Somebody figured it out.
So open it, click it, click it to open it, grab the card and drag it.
Gotcha. All right. So this is the professor's card.
Where am I
And
doing that from?
This one is my card.
On roll 20, just above your thing. Click the card that's above the thing.
It doesn't let me click it.
Oops. Oh no!
Well, I can.
We're fighting. You can go ahead and reduce it.
Wow.
You
Did
can
you
go ahead and
forget to
reduce it.
shuffle the deck?
I hit shuffle. I explicitly hit shuffle. So whose 10 is this?
That would be Jaiden's.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
Jaiden's 10.
Jaiden, then this is Wu's king.
Alright, so I'm gonna steal that card then. And I'll open it.
And Cypher, is this your queen or is this Fluffy's?
No, that's my queen.
Okay.
I didn't know I was playing. I'm sorry.
Yes, you were playing the role of Casino Mook 3.
See,
And
I'm
this
great.
is
Whoops! Oh no!
that 10 of clubs is for Mordecai.
Look how small.
Casino Mook 4.
Oh wait, the 10 of clubs is Mordecai?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's-
Okay.
And the queen is me.
Oh. Wait, then the king is who?
A Woo.
Oh.
The king is a word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
king is a
Because all right, hang on. Because I can't drag this
Space.
off the space. I had it. Boy, I'm a horrible dealer. All right, so yeah, this has got to get. I guess we're gonna have to reduce this down, and then.
All right.
All right, so.
So all I
king
need to
goes to a
focus
Woo.
on.
King. All right, king goes to a Woo. 10 was
10 goes Jaiden.
Jaiden. Clubs was
10
Mordecai,
of clubs was Mordecai.
Queen was
Queen
you.
was me.
and then Bright has.
King.
Bright.
Yeah.
No, Matty had the king. Bright hasn't revealed.
Yeah, I have the king of
Bright has-
diamonds.
I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. So you see the card directly above your.
Yeah.
Okay.
can't-
Click it,
It doesn't.
and you see what it is, right?
No, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, this probably doesn't work with the cameras aligned to the top.
It's alright, Oliver.
Oh,
It's alright,
I'll click on it for you then.
steal it. I could steal
Oh,
it.
you can
and-
steal it. Okay.
Sure.
I could steal it and then
Sure.
open it.
It wasn't a
I
very
have-
good card anyway.
I have my window.
Well, at least it
my
confirms that there's something
camera
other than
on
face
top.
cards.
They do exist.
So, Maddie, you deal one to yourself, which you would put at the top for the house.
All right, deal one card to me.
Mhm.
Okay.
And place it up top so we can see what it is. This is what we're betting against. Wow,
Ooh.
this is one of the
Oh.
worst odds I have ever had. Okay,
Ah!
so,
Ouch.
all right, here's the way this works. Check. So, king would be fluffy sheep, or pardon, king would be. Oh god. Okay. Anyway, deal one card to each of the players. Flipping it over. Do not deal to the dealer just yet.
Okay, so here's one to Bright,
Mhm.
and then here's one.
Or you could just drag. Instead, you could just drag it onto the board and put it directly over.
Oh!
Or just underneath,
Gotcha.
which would help.
Yep, so you could steal that card and then drag it.
Wait. I can't. I think I have to click deal. I can't click and drag the.
That's
the
all right, I
pile.
got it.
Yeah.
I've got it. Let me steal it and then put it on the board.
My hand suddenly got much better. That was the best card you could have dealt, except for an 8.
Yeah, no, that's a really, really hard.
Okay.
Alright.
So just keep going down the line.
Okay, I still see a
And
card
everybody gets
over
a second card.
Casimir here, though. This one. I mean, if you see it on stream, I don't know if you see it on your end or roll.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it is. There is a card there, so I just leave that as the card
Okay.
being dealt to Casimir.
Sure.
And just deal one to everyone else, and
All right, so we're gonna deal one
Deal with it.
to Mordecai the Mook.
Remember, you're
Okay.
not dealing to the player. You're just throwing it right on the board. And just putting it
Oh,
so this way you're not having to.
Oh, okay. So
Because if I wanted to, you see, you can click to draw and place it right on the board.
oh. Deal, recall,
did.
shuffle, hide.
So if you actually take a look and move up, you could click that's very top card, place it down. There we go.
Oh,
So-
click to draw, drag, or deal. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
So bang, we got that. Bang, we got that. And what do I have? 18.
alright, yeah, so
So we got a 20, we got a 10, we got a 17, we got an 18, and we got a 12. And this is not including the house.
From what I understand,
Yeah.
I have to hold on a 16 or greater as the house.
That's exactly it. As soon as you hit 16 or higher, you have to stop.
17. 17.
Oh, is it 7?
Oh.
Oh.
What is
yeah, we have a
Well,
we have a
I have
10,
20,
a 7,
All right.
an 18.
Well, a dealer shouldn't deal to themselves until everybody else is already established. But so I got a hit. I got a
Okay.
hit. There's no chance.
We still have this
because
one
of the way
card
you
on
play.
Casimir to use if you want to just do that as whatever the rando card that was floating.
Yeah, because no one knows what that is.
All right, stealing. Why won't it? I'm asking it to steal, but it's
Oh,
not.
there you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Yeah, no, it takes a
Because
moment.
it asks me permission. and so I-
Ah.
Oh wow.
Whoa!
That's a,
Oh,
That's a-
20.
that's a 20.
So no loss, no gain. Oh well.
Um,
All right. So take all. Click the deck, and you can, if I recall,
Jaiden's
You
hair
should
smiles.
you should have the ability to drag all those cards back into the deck and deal a new hand.
yeah, no, that's a holding situation there.
All right, so yeah, this is all right.
The only two people who'd be in good positions to make any kind of hit would be the
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
be
I mean-
Bright.
I'd be taking hits, but it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, Bright and Casimir would be the two.
Okay. I
we're
can't
good.
seem to drag it off, but if I right click, I don't know, flip card, edit, delete cards, or is that actually going to delete the card? Or actually, maybe
We are
there's
learning how the
oh,
cards
recall.
in Roll20 work.
There's a button called recall here. All right, I'm gonna hit that.
Yeah, recall.
Recall all.
Yep.
And then shuffle.
And it'll recall them all to the deck and then
Shuffle the deck.
Shuffle the deck. All right, so let's try this again. We're gonna deal one card.
You want me to do it
oh, wait.
so it's quicker?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the center one. So I'm
I
just
get to
gonna
play
deal
in my
this-
own game. Yay, DM Derek on a Tuesday.
Yeah. So ace. Oh, that is a good card for me.
Oh, nice.
Another ace. Okay, and dealer goes. I'm just gonna call it out. So 2. Do you want me to hit you, or do you want me to? Do you want to stay?
Who are you addressing?
Whoever has the 2.
Is that
Oh.
right?
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry. That's me.
That's Bright. Or that's Maddie.
I thought it was
Oh,
Maddie.
wait.
Oh.
Oh wait, hang
confused.
on. Is it?
I don't know. No,
Ah, you
I
want
have
to
a
what?
2,
I'm just gonna keep
ace.
dealing this out like the.
Oh no. So hang on. So that next card
Yeah.
would have been on you here.
Yeah.
All right. So then the 2 is what was peeled off for the table.
Okay.
Okay.
So. Sorry, I'm trying. Let me just. press play to end up seeing on who it is. Okay, so Matty, you want me to hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. 12, you want me to hit you again?
Yep. Come on, bring it.
20, you want to hit again?
Nope.
All right.
I'm staying.
Fluffy, you're at 6, you want me to hit?
So I have to hit. You know this.
Okay.
9,
9.
hit me. Keep hitting.
Okay.
What does the dealer have showing?
You're
13. You're at 13.
You're at 13.
I know what I have. What does the dealer have showing? I don't know
20.
the card. 2?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hit me again.
That's a
So
bust.
sad.
Oh,
You bust.
All right.
it's okay, Mook 3.
Next one. It's okay, Mook 3.
Our parents totally own airship
15 or
dealerships,
5
so-
to Mordecai.
Hit.
Ooh. 20 or 10. Your choice.
Stay.
Okay.
20.
Then. Wow,
That's
21.
a 20.
That's a 21.
That's 21.
I'm assuming you're holding.
Oh, you better believe I'm holding.
Good job, Mook 1.
Kaz,
Blackjack. You
Hit.
5.5.
hit. 15. You want to get it again, or you want to stay?
Yeah, hit.
Okay, let's find out. Mhm.
Oh, that's a bust.
Big bust.
Mook
Oh,
number
Mook
4,
4.
Bruss. Jaiden has a 19. Will hold. So house is 2.
Yeah.
15. Or 5. 15. Dealer busts.
See the busts. Hey, I get the money!
Woo!
And so that is going to put me up to another 500, bringing me up to 12. And I'm hoping that got the right attention at the table.
Yeah, so Mook is having fun. A couple of them are down, and the one that apparently the leader Mook here, who ended up with 20, yeah, will look at you. I mean, obviously there's like there's a high five. Well, I guess they wouldn't be high fives if their tails are doing it. What would tails do? I don't know, like a little.
I imagine
Like
it
a
looks
little
something
wraparound?
like
Yeah, yeah. We do a fancy tiefling like a tail shake. Oh,
What
I
about
love
tieflings
it.
who have fluffy tails? That's a little silly.
Yeah, some tail curls, yeah, some tail slaps.
tail bump.
Yeah, some tail, yeah, because their dad's totally own dealership, so they're just here spending money. All right, so yeah, you do a good job of impressing on them. You know, a couple of them like whatever. They start cussing in Infernal here, and it's like just go cool off, and then the attention is turned to you by the leader of the Mooks, and you get. You would be able to get some more information about people. You would learn that, look, these kids might actually be dumb enough to just spend their parents' money and buy anything that is looking fancy to them, but they don't seem to be in the market for the things that's being sold. Real quick, lethality, do you need to take off for Gathering of Nerds?
I will momentarily.
Okay.
Not just yet, but I will momentarily.
Okay. And then you're told, oh yeah, there's some old people over there. They probably collect armor and stuff. Put it on pedestals. Some I don't know, some maybe like an admiral. I don't know. He's higher up in the Navy. Fighters. We're just the one that supplies them stuff. But you get a lead over to another group. And though this group is, we go back down to one solitary, but this is a military figure, is dressed in like the nice, their dress uniform, for the Shadow
Break
Heart
his
here,
kneecaps.
and is here and is at another. We're not in the high roller section just yet, but we're at the big table here. As everyone here, like, to get into this section of the casino, you need to walk past whatever, like someone who's like checking your shoes, and you make sure they match your bag of holding, and make sure every like sequin on your dress is as sparkly as can be, kind of a thing. So it's a roped off area so others can see without walls. but you do need to get past what's the term? A pit boss, or I guess a bouncer of sorts.
Bouncer.
So you need to get past a bouncer. Jaiden, you can walk through. You have the look. And so we would have a. I guess we'd come to. I haven't played poker in forever, but I guess we could do poker if you want. Or a Texas, a Shadowheart Hold'em or something?
Yeah, Shadowheart Hold'em would probably be the best, because I also know the rules.
Alright. Well, we know our dealer now.
Hey,
Yeah, alright.
I have no idea how to play poker.
It's alright, I can give you guys a quick education on how Shadowheart works.
I have to go to bed soon.
Yep. That we'll have this and see how it ends up, and then we can we
do
can.
face down cards even work in this? Because you kind of need face down cards to play poker at all.
Oh,
Yes, you can.
Oh,
You can. You deal 1 round face down, 1 round face up.
No, that's not Hold'em. That's
Oh no, that's not Hold'em. That's the other one. No,
if Hold'em's not practical, then we could do regular. Whatever works.
Yeah.
same amount of practical.
You can deal the cards.
Let me put it to you another way.
Oh, actually.
As fun as it would be, since we're pressed for time,
We
would a
play
$1,000 buyout cover it?
Oh,
Because I can do that now.
sure.
Buyout is a very viable option. But no, I just figured out how you could do it. You could just drag the cards to the individual players so they could see them individually.
All right, so we'll instead of poker, even if we say that instead the gentleman's game here is war, where we just reveal and see who has the highest. Because hey, I know it's simple. It's thematic for the Shadowheart Empire. Jaiden, you bring money to the table. You spend it, and you are getting enough clout and attention here that that this admiral in dress uniform does notice you, and you are going to be invited to go with him into the High Rollers Club, where there is a select few people who are willing to talk about money-making ventures, especially as you're an inland merchant. Because these are the things that you would have brought up as well as you're spending and making money. And so let's say out of the 1,000 you put down, you would have had a win some, lose some. I guess roll a D10, and then we'll subtract that times 100 from your 1,000 to see how much you're still hanging on to bring into the table. Or I guess wait, because you could also come out at you're spending, so it's probably going to be a loss to get attention, so not a gain. But
Puts
go ahead.
Puts me at even 1,000.
Oh yeah, because you started up. Sure.
Even.
All right. So what we'll do then is you're going to be invited back with the Admiral for a special game, and then what we'll do is you've had these successes. Otherwise, you're going to be brought back, and there are maybe, besides the employees, 10 others, and it's about 6 Shadowheart and 4 people that by dress or stature or just the way they look would also be at least Mesotopian. Maybe after a while you can place their accent as Fallfire or as Landian or something along those lines. I don't have the details because we're kind of going over this as a progression of events. But you could place the accents. You can get a feel here as they come in, and as you had stated, I buy and sell. I'm looking for certain things, and the Admiral said, well, I learned that you can get certain things from particular merchants who are here.
Of course.
So you have Do you have a gaming set proficiency? I forget if your background.
I
offers
do.
that. What is that? Oh, very good. Dragon chess. Oh, yes, very, very good. So what is going to happen then? As you sit down and you begin your game of dragon chess, because this is, the gambling is simply to see if you have the money and the gumption to step up. But the true, the game of the patrons of the land is Dragon Chess, because it requires strategy, it requires foresight. These are the big wheelers and dealers. So they've already proven that they're not afraid to take risks, but then this is to prove that you have that long vision. You have the discipline to step up. And so you come in and you play a round of Dragon Chess with someone who is, I guess it'd be like the lowest rank of the highest table that exists in this casino. And you handedly beat that person with a 25.
And that's an all-in bet, so I'm assuming we're still betting big money, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is big money.
Okay.
So I'll roll, and so we have a starting out character here. So we're gonna go here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was a good game, but you definitely beat this person. Now, there's another challenge, and you can actually replace your game proficiency unless you want to make, and this will be your choice, a wisdom insight, a charisma deception, or a charisma intimidation. You can roll Dragon Chess for all of these if you want, or you can replace it with a skill. I will tell you, for this next hard one, I am going to use one of my +1s that was given to me here. So for Machi, and actually of all people, because he works in a casino, Machi is giving me a +1.
I gave you several +1s as well.
So I'm going to redeem that.
I will offset that with my another +1. I'm going to be playing Dragon Chess.
Okay. So I am going to roll against you, and this is
1,000 gold.
For 1,000. All right. The big money is putting down every time here. And so your opponent got a 21 at Dragon Chess.
Oh.
Wish I could inspire you so bad.
Don't worry about it. Good game.
What's your modifier?
That was with the modifier plus 6.
Oh, okay. No, then
You get a 12.
You and I are going to end up tying. The 3 that you got, the 3 clues that you got that would progress you. I need you to make 3 checks when you gamble. That was going to give you advantage on each of those. The first one, you just got a straight up 25. That was already the highest.
Okay, so these are 3 separate.
Yeah,
okay.
We're making 3 checks in our gamble, and it's either you can make 3. Well, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Because that was the second one, and then the third one.
Okay.
It would make sense to make them in order, and then what happens.
We have a rematch. The first one will say that you didn't need advantage. We rolled into it, so you won that one anyway. So you're still floating 3 advantages. The first one you tied. I don't know how you tie in chess, but let's say that you tied in chess.
Stalemate.
It's stalemate.
Stalemate.
Oh, so stalemate.
I can't check them. They can't check me.
Draws happen all the time in chess. It's pretty common.
Then on a 21, there's a rematch. And so then if you want to use your second, you can, for this 15-14 split you rolled, you can use your advantage. It was a pre-roll, but whatever. I'm fine if you want to declare that you're using it or not. But I'm not using my second.
I will use my
+1s.
remaining +2s if that's the case. Or my remaining +1s from Coffee Cat to tip the balance.
All right. Then, well, I gotta
Because
roll.
Coffee Cat keeps saying that he wants to end up giving me inspiration.
1d.
So there you go.
So the last one was a +5, but that was with the 1. So this is a +4. So then this is going to be, so your second, or after the tie, it would have been 21, 22, 23. So I got to beat a 23. I can only do this if I roll a 20, and I do not. So you win your second match, and then you move on. You move on, and I'm going to use a +1. And this is like the head of the table. You're getting information, and as you're sitting across from this person, then you're having a very intense match as he has a good base skill here. So I'm going to roll. Let's see. We started with a 1. We went to a 4, but this person is going to have a higher. Well, actually, I guess a +5 would be the natural cap, because that would indicate a maximum, unless there's like magical intelligence or barbarian shenanigans at epic level. So I'm just going to give this a. This will be a +6 because it's a +5 natural cap plus the 1 that I redeemed. So 1d20 +6. And would you like to use your advantage that you got from your third clue?
I would like to.
You handedly, with a critical 26, you handedly beat the chess master in the back room here. In the everyone calls it the high roller. I guess that keeps the illusion that truly the intellectuals and not just the lucky are the ones that win these matches. And in so doing, the stakes have gotten very high, and you would be given the person that you had bet against put down a significant portion, because if you were putting down, you were holding what, 3,000 by that point?
I was holding 3,000 at that point.
Okay, that's a ton of money. And so this person says then, if you are willing to, I guess he'd have to have it, I think, by casino rules. Although, because I talked about people who bring collateral to casinos for big bets and such, you so handedly beat this person that he tells you that I'm gonna have to offer you the collateral. It was a set of armor that I had purchased from someone here in Mask of Horns. Looked to be very rare, has special properties. I brought it as collateral. I don't necessarily need armor myself, but a debt is a debt. And he's Shadowhar, but he is speaking with a very passable Mesotopian accent.
Okay. And I try and remember the information and everything as such. Maybe even find the buyer, as if they're capable of procuring this. There's certain things that I know would be wanted inland, and I can definitely use such a professional.
So you have, I guess this would put you up to, because you get your return on your 3,000, but I'm going to presume that there's extra funds. So you get this armor. That was held in collateral. You'd have to go and redeem it at the office. It's in a crate. They'll, tell them the carriage to deliver it to, and then you're gonna have 3,000 on top of that. So you'll have 6,000 Shadowhar newly minted gold pieces, and you have a set of armor in a crate.
Okay.
Well, look at you.
What was that? 6,000 gold pieces and a new set of armor?
Mm-hmm.
I'd call that a win.
Yeah, but we are talking about Jaiden here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to remind you that this wasn't my money I was gambling with. So, with that being said, after I get back to the wagon with Miss Quam, greeting her kindly and thanking her very much for her hospitality while the crate is being loaded in, I drop her a satchel back as payment, which contains 3,000.
Her eyes widen, and you get the golden glitter in them as she looks down. Well, someone had a night.
Well, I had to end up taking... Sorry, I'm still... The accent, it sticks with you after a while, doesn't it? I don't like leaving debts unpaid, and it was your coin after all.
You are a true gentleman, gentle person, Jaiden. Where would he in this world, be you from the north or from the south? It is appreciated. and I will make sure to invest it wisely in the wild cherry.
I would look forward to such a return on investment. You have proven to be someone that I end up appreciating and want to end up seeing do well. So long as everything stays accordingly, I can end up doing business with you. So, regardless on your unfortunate condition, I'd like to end up making sure that everything stays above water, if you'll pardon the pun.
Believe me, water is not my friend much anymore. That was a hard lesson to learn. Especially wanting water.
Well, thankfully, the one you're dealing with now is still.
I get that reference.
Nevertheless, I need to end up filing a quick report. I will see you at the cherry, and then we will end up seeing what we can do. Thank you very much for this lovely evening. But I have to admit, I gotta end up getting into a more comfortable shoe wear. I have no idea on how you do this.
All right. So I reckon then what we can do here, we've had quite a successful haul, and Derek, what I will do is I will talk with you on the side in regards to the contents of the crate, as you have won some rather rare armor that is exactly what was stolen from your father's friend, and we can look at our wish list and see what is contained in that set. And then for the others here, because lethality has to get going, you've arrived in Oct. If you want to disembark in a port city and I don't know, talk with some gnomes, explore the jungle, or you could stay aboard the ship before you head north.
I have some supplies to buy.
Yep. So if there's mundane stuff, like, just let me know. But if you're looking. I wouldn't say there's really a downtime activity in the Uct port. Like, if there's something you want to try and accomplish, because you're going to be there for 2 days max, depending on how long it takes to unload and reload cargo and food and such.
Depending on what people want to do, we can just fast forward that.
Well, I don't want to fast forward the whole thing.
Well, no, not the whole thing.
If it's just a spotlight on Bright, then, that's...
That's
it
fine.
might be.
I'll be doing some very mundane supply buying stuff.
Mordecai doesn't have anything to
Like,
do there. so we're the
all
same.
Cypher's gonna do is go into town and buy some like very basic crafting materials for something that he wishes to get to making.
Mordecai is just going to be doing more of the same. So
Okay. All right.
nothing
Yeah,
special.
Then that will effectively roll into what you do on your journey north then. If you're going to stay aboard the ship or something, and, you're reading or whatnot, doesn't mean you can't go on shore and, that there's the pretty trees and some birds of paradise or whatever. Because I actually factually have something I did make.
Can we tap them for mana?
Isn't
That way we can tap them for mana.
It's not Green Shield anymore. Bright Uct exists.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey.
Fancy.
I'm really happy to see this. It looks just like home. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah.
Look how pretty it is. It looks way better than any of the other places we've been. And that's totally not me being biased.
Mordecai would probably go strolling with Bright, but that's probably about all he would do.
So yeah, you get some paths that meander in the canopy. You get some interesting little burbs hanging out at the top. There's even like a little factory kind of just jamming out by the river here. There's a lot of water, a lot of trees, a lot of green, and a lot of mountains. Welcome to Uct.
Yeah, but don't let the bugs bite you, because if you're not immune, oh boy, yeah, you'd better just. Well, I guess for Mordecai it doesn't matter, but for you, Professor, you probably don't want to let the bugs bite you. Yeah, that'd be bad.
Why?
I will make sure to keep that in mind.
So
I do know, I am aware of the Uct fauna and their tendencies, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I'm
Yeah,
a fellow at the
the
Uctian
bugs-
University, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So you're all familiar with it. Yeah. So Mordecai, what we have here, we have some bugs, and they spread a disease that we call wandering bladder. You don't really want that.
Wandering black.
Oh yes, your bladder does want. quite a far ways. Over there, and up there.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So you don't want that. It's
The
okay
wor-
though. I'm
The
I'm
worst
in
part
my-
of it is
we
you
have
stay right
resistance.
where you are.
Yeah, exactly. You stay where you are, and your bladder goes off without you.
I suppose because mine isn't used anymore, it's okay.
Oh no, you're probably immune because it's from a parasite, and I'm immune because I'm from here. And Professor, he's must have. What did they give you shots or something? How did it work for you?
Yes, I've had my proper immunization.
Okay, well then
And
we'll
I
all be
mean
okay.
that's not even the worst part of it. You definitely don't want the leaky blood syndrome.
Oh yeah, leaky blood. That's bad too.
And don't forget Nomazuma's revenge.
Yes, and Nomazuma's revenge.
It sounds
all
like a
so
dangerous
terrible.
place to live.
Oh, it's not so
no.
bad.
Oh no, not at all. Uct is fun. You just need to make sure to get the requisite shots, or you will have a bad time.
Oh, and
A
throat leeches.
very bad time.
Right.
Throat leeches.
Think I can off-sell some of the Shadahari equipment I have.
Oh yes, you could probably
Probably.
go to the university and sell it as artifacts, and they would probably pay quite a bit of money for it.
Well, I don't know if we have time to get to the university.
Mm-mm.
It might be pretty far.
Yeah, you're at a restocking port city. It's not I mean, there's
Yes,
roads. You can get to it, but you don't have the time in the 2 days unless you are, I don't know, like wind walking or, you know.
I mean, depending on what is included in my Instrument of the Bards.
Yeah,
We'll
but-
see because you finished that like right as you were pulling into port.
I
So-
mean, I might be able to do you have the materials for teleportation circle? Because Cypher
I
would
have-
probably know the sequence.
A set. I don't have
You
a
don't-
spare.
You don't have a spare. Okay. Well, we don't want to use that one then. We'll keep that for but if we want to do that, that's something that we can figure out over the off week and then perform next session.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright.
All right, so
Bye.
we've had we're in Uct. Welcome. It's green and verdant and full of
Dangerous
very,
things.
very colorful and dangerous things. And that's just the gnomes. And then there's the bugs.
I kind of look like a 4'6" gnome at this point.
Oh yeah,
With a
that'll
tail.
probably
4'8",
last a little while
4'8".
as the meal wears off, because it has been most of the week. Like I don't know, we could say if you want to be chibi, then maybe you feed from Bright again. I won't stop you if you want to keep drinking from her.
I might stop you.
Oh, I might.
wanna
That's a
steal-
possibility.
I don't want to take too much from Bright. I might actually change my palette when I'm here.
Well,
Try one of the various other gnomes that you might find.
I feel. Oh no! Is
Stop
Mordecai
eating my
trying-
people.
just,
I'm not
just,
trying. I'm a vampire. I'm sorry.
just as a heads up, though, Mordecai, it seems that most of the civilization is vegetarian, so you're not exactly going to find a
You're
stockyard.
cutting out. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, it says that it would seem that maybe many or most of the population is vegetarian, so you're probably gonna have trouble finding a stockyard full of or like a butcher to go to for just
Oh,
cheap
yeah.
buckets of blood that are just we want to get rid of it because we don't need it.
Come on, the Happy Meals with legs are walking all around.
Yeah, Happy Meals with legs
Well,
are walking around.
Oh, but gnomes aren't the only race in Uct. I mean, we also have humans.
Yeah, there
and
are
humans will eat meat. So
Yep. Yeah, it's not that
Yeah,
they're not
the
there, but
miserable
also
Happy Meals.
but also cattle. I mean, they get bored into by the drill beetles and all this other stuff. So you might have to be creative if you want to feed here, unless you're feeding off of a friend. But all right, lethality. If you got to go, what is the Gathering of Nerds? What's your prompt and your level?
The prompt is perpetual, and the level is
Sorry, what level?
Oh, you cut out
5.
5. Ooh, solid low level. Perpetual. All right. Well, if you need about
Never ending.
you need an hour or so to set up.
No, we're actually pretty good. Should be able to go live in, so long as everyone gets here in the next half an hour.
Oh, sure. All right. Hey,
There's-
then there might be a time for like at least one round of.
All right, I
Trivia
gotta
Murder
go to
Party.
bed
Yeah, you go to bed.
Yeah.
Coffee, get out of here.
because it's
I'm
almost
tired, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to bed too.
and I gotta be up at 5:30.
Yes.
oh no.
Although,
Oh no! Coffee, you
I
should have
could-
told me that.
I could.
Before you run away, I actually have a VTM question. Very quick one.
Yes.
Predator types that have that allow you to take a blood sorcery dot. Would you allow that for Banu Hakim, even though it says Premier only?
Are we talking to me or are we talking to Derek?
I'm talking to you.
Me.
Yeah.
Depends, because San Antonio is core rulebook only.
Oh, it's called rulebook only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I will keep that
On
one in mind.
purpose.
And
Because it's my
Fair
first
enough.
game.
nope, fair enough.
I will make NPCs that are Banu Hakim, but I will not allow for player characters.
I will do a little bit of adjustment then.
Okay. I gotta go to bed.
Yep,
To
get
bed.
going.
Love all of you.
Bye. Thank you for the fun.
Yeah.
Bye.
I gotta jump off as well
Alright.
because I gotta go get
Mhm.
ready for that. So I will. You guys will see the signal flag when the signal flag goes up.
Alrighty, we'll look for you soon then.
Yeesh.
Then I think well, I'll take a little break, and then come back, and I'll have Jackbox Party Pack 6 loaded up.
Okay. Too many casino games. We're playing jackpot now.
Yeah.
Oh, so Maddie, you were asking for a wish, so I or the what might be on the wish list. So I would like to end up receiving the plate of many things.
Plate of many things.
Yes, it's a plate armor made out of the deck of many things.
Oh. So when you get struck, it activates whatever random effect that is.
Yeah. But all the cards are face down. You don't know what you picked.
That would have some very interesting effects. Although I will say, if you wanted to, I mean, if you're looking for something custom like that, I'm open-minded. It doesn't have to necessarily be just a
I thought
standard.
you would enjoy that idea.
In the middle of combat, some boss hits you, and suddenly an aspect of death pops out of your armor, and then now we have a Mexican standoff between you, the boss, and it.
I'm a little confused here.
I'm gonna head to bed.
Yep.
Eric, did you see the picture?
Yes.
I did.
All the pictures are great.
You melt my heart.
Oh.
You really do.
Hey, Emma.
And Miss Wu, I whenever you stop by, because I know that the store isn't open for sit-down play,
Yeah, we'll see.
I'll have some minis from an order for you that you can just go and pick up at the usual place whenever you go down there.
I'm almost done with Custos. I have the Remoras left, and then I'm halfway done with the Frost Giant.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, you get going. I'm gonna go on break. So all of you out there, Shade Mage and others, Fi, thank you for peering in. Let's take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna set up some party games and get the channel switched over to it. Let's see if we can't sneak in a round or two of Trivia Murder Party while we wait for the Gathering of Nerds to go live. So I will see you all soon. Go do what you got to do, and let's have a little bit more fun before we go raid Lethality Complex and our lovely nerds down in Australia.